The Legend of Zelda is one of Nintendo's most popular series, bringing us over 39 years worth of adventures and multiple versions of our hero dressed in green. It's only natural to ask the question, which Link is the best Link? Now, as I said, there are multiple versions of Link, but when I talk about the Hylian hero, only one of those versions will instantly come to mind. And chances are, that's probably one of the 3D versions, as the 3D versions are the only ones that really stick out, both physically and personality-wise. Get it? Physically, because they're 3D? Okay, let me stop. So today, I will be ranking all the 3D Links based on the following criteria. Number 1. His design or style in the game. Link has some really nice designs and outfits, and I feel like these should be taken into account. The way he looks definitely adds to his memorability, even if it is a bit subconscious. Number 2. The story of the game he appears in and how he contributes to it. I mean, he is the main character, so his actions and their consequences definitely impact how you, the player, feel about him. Number 3. His personality. What personality? Listen, I know he doesn't really speak, but I'd still argue his personality is noticeable across the different games. This is arguably the most important part of this whole ranking, as it is ultimately the reason we prefer certain versions of Link over the others. And finally, number 4. Overall vibes. Whatever that means. Yeah, honestly, I just say whatever I feel for this. It's a nice way to get my overall thoughts out and to BS the ranking a bit. Now with that out of the way, let's jump into the ranking. Coming in at number 5, it's Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Link. If you know me, then this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Design-wise, we have 2 outfits to judge, but only one of them is used between both games. That outfit is of course this iconic blue design. Both of these games stray away from the hero dressed in green, and honestly, I'm not mad at it. Link is dressed in a blue tunic, which has a sword drawing around the collar, some khaki pants, and his typical brown boots. He also has his brown belts, which helps to hold his shield and any weapons he needs to carry. It's a nice departure from the green tunic without going too far. In Tears of the Kingdom, however, we do return back to green for a bit with this outfit. Link is wearing a brownish gray toga, looking very Roman inspired, with a green shawl or half shirt on top. This outfit clearly allows us to view his damaged arm, which is of course incredibly important to the story. The arm is blackened, adorned with these gold pieces, and it even has the ability to glow. I definitely prefer the splash of green design over the default blue tunic, but both are great. The story of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom follows somewhat similar story beats, where you need to collect either divine beasts or champions to help you defeat Ganon or the man, the myth, the legend behind it all, Ganondorf himself. Wait, why is he kinda... Link is of course our main character, so he is the one that puts his life on the line to save all of Hyrule. He travels to foreign lands in search of these people or animals, and is always willing to help those in need along the way. Ultimately, this effort pays off as he is able to pull up to Hyrule Castle to defeat both Ganon and Ganondorf. Personality-wise, this is probably my least favorite Link. I feel like in every cutscene, he's just there like that one Mike Wazowski meme. I've said this before, but he was literally upstaged by a fish. No disrespect to my boy Sidon though. I feel like this Link is super stoic and doesn't really show much of a personality, despite being with him throughout the entire game. The only time we really see or hear about his personality is from Zelda's diary or the memories, which again, you have to go out of your way to find. And I guess given the context of having to master your powers for the sake of humanity, or Hylianity, I guess him being more stoic and serious makes sense. I just wish we saw a little bit more of his personality firsthand. Overall, this Link is fine, but he doesn't stand out in my opinion. It's kind of hard to place him as a person, and I really think that's his downfall in this ranking. Number 4. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask Link. The 2 Links in my 2 favorite Zelda games. Design-wise, there are 2 different versions of Link to look at, but the difference between them is pretty minuscule. Both Links wear a green hat, tunic, brown belt, and boots, but only adult Link has white tights underneath. Probably because if there was a strong Hylian breeze, well, I'll let you do the math on that one. The only other differences are the swords and shields. Child Link has a smaller sword and a small wooden shield, while adult Link has the Hylian shield and the Master Sword, denoting his growth physically, but also power-wise. This is a very simple yet iconic design. It's not flashy at all, but still gets the young boy turned Hylian warrior vibe across. Both stories are pretty different, so I'll just quickly go through both, one at a time as they kind of lead into each other. In Ocarina of Time, Child Link is tasked with stopping Ganondorf's evil plan to take over Hyrule, and to do this, he needs to travel into the future and awaken the 7 sages to defeat him. Adult Link is successful, of course, because, well, it's a Nintendo game. And once all evil is defeated, he is sent back to the past to relive his life. We can all assume Link warns the king, and Ganondorf's plan never came to be. Which leads us into Majora's Mask, where Link starts off looking for Navi, but that gets cut short when he is approached by the Skull Kid, who steals his ocarina and turns him into a Deku Scrub. While trying to catch up to the Skull Kid, Link meets the Happy Mask salesman, who informs him how to get his body and ocarina back. Oh, and by the way, he kinda needs help getting back an important mask that the Skull Kid stole. Oh yeah, and how could I forget to mention, the moon is falling into the earth and will kill everyone if you do nothing. So of course, Link repeats the same 3 days in order to stop the moon from falling into the earth, and defeats the entity behind Majora's Mask. I could honestly yap about this game all day, but I think this somewhat gets the point across. Personality-wise, this Link definitely falls into the more serious category, but he still does have some physical reactions to the people and events around him, especially in Majora's Mask. Look at him go! But yeah, definitely not the most expressive Link at all. However, I do like his backstory more in Ocarina of Time, since he was a bit of an outcast due to the lack of having a fairy, but all in all, Link eventually grows up to realize he really is different from everyone else, and that difference plays a role in his success as the hero of time. Overall, this Link was super iconic in my book, as he was literally my childhood. That being said, I still think there's better versions of our hero. Number 3. Twilight Princess Link. Ah yes, furry Link. This might be a controversial placement, but at least I can say this Link definitely has the best design. Starting off with his relaxed Ordon fit, we can see it consists of a lot of patchwork. Link is covered in a plethora of different fabrics, but altogether they actually work really well. Especially this little arm sling thingy. I honestly don't know what to call this, it's literally just a sleeve attached to a belt, but it does a good job of bringing the whole outfit together. Moving on to the outfit Link spends a majority of the game in, it is of course the green tunic. The whole game is very dark, and I feel like this new darker and more desaturated green aesthetic really matches the theme. His tunic is accented by different belts and some chainmail underneath, which I mean, yeah, why wouldn't Link have chainmail? Typically Link wears white under his outfits, but in this game he steps away from the bright white and instead introduces us to this kind of tan or khaki colored undershirt and pants. I think this was a really good choice as the stark white could be a bit blinding. Also, the collar of this shirt is just, ugh, chef's kiss. Nintendo really outdid themselves with this one. The story of Twilight Princess follows Link on his journey to rescue his friends, but along the way he realizes that he needs to put an end to the darkness that has taken over Hyrule. To do this, Link takes multiple trips to the Twilight Realm, which upon first arrival turns him into a wolf. So, yeah. Now you see why I called this furry Link. Gathering the Tears of Twilight and fixing the Mirror of Twilight grants Link access to the aforementioned Twilight Realm and the Palace of Twilight, where Link is able to defeat Zant and eventually Ganondorf. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that right now. But doing all this will eventually save all of Hyrule. Personality-wise, this Link also isn't super expressive. He does come off very serious, but also the kids and animals in the village really like him, so obviously there's something there. He's very mature and gives off a very cool, calm, and collected vibe. The only emotions I really remember him frequently expressing are shock and anger, and usually this anger is due to him wanting to protect something he cares about. Link very much feels like a protector in this game. Upon doing research on other people's opinions, I saw people saying that they felt he was a bit arrogant at the beginning, but I also never read him that way. I mean, I haven't played this game in a minute, but he never gave arrogant in my opinion. I feel like Link is pretty tame in every game, he's just very stoic and serious in most of them. Overall, I really like this Link. I think he's definitely one of the coolest Links, not just in design, but also personality-wise. He gives off an aura in this game that I can't quite put into words. Number 2. Skyward Sword Link. This is where things started getting really hard for me personally. I absolutely love and adore this Link, but sadly, I think he has to be second. Design-wise, this Link also has two main outfits. One Skyloft fit, which looks like this, and seems pretty cozy. Link sports this off-white sweater and green pants combo, paired with some dark grayish Ugg boots, and a red belt cloth thingy, which honestly reminds me of his Twilight Princess design. This outfit isn't extremely special, but it does seem very comfortable. Definitely something I would lounge around the house in on a cold winter evening, sipping some hot cocoa. Moving on to the outfit he wears for the majority of the game, we have the classic green tunic. This design doesn't stray too far from its predecessor, featuring the green tunic with chainmail underneath, brownish pants, belts, and boots. The only thing I will say about this outfit is that it does seem to fit Link a bit loosely. It feels kind of baggy, especially in regards to the pants, but other than that, it's pretty much your standard Link design. The story of Skyward Sword follows Link on his journey to save his childhood best friend, who just so happens to be the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia. No big deal or anything. Link and Zelda grow up in Skyloft, a city in the sky, and one day on a late afternoon ride, Zelda is knocked off her bird and swallowed by a black tornado. Link, witnessing all of this, tries to save her, but is ultimately unsuccessful. The whole game we play cat and mouse, chasing Zelda all over the surface, until we are finally able to meet up with her and learn what is really going on. Evil is seeping out of the earth, and we need to go back in time to gather the Triforce and seal the Demon King demise. Doing this, of course, saves Zelda and the rest of the world. Personality-wise, this Link is easily one of the most expressive we've ever seen in the entire series. He's so fun and goofy. In the game, he starts off a bit, I don't want to say lazy, but that's also kind of how Zelda sees him. And well, we all know the princess is never wrong, but throughout the game from multiple different characters, we hear a lot about how Link starts off very lazy, not really caring when it came to his nightly duties, but by the end of the game, this tone and way of describing him shifts, and everyone seems very proud of him. There was genuine character growth that was actually acknowledged by others in the game. It felt like we watched him blossom into a strong warrior. Overall, definitely one of my favorite Links. I think he has a great and low-key relatable personality in this game. He's very expressive and goofy, but also knows when it's time to lock in and get the job done. And coming in at number 1, it's none other than Wind Waker Link. Definitely a fan favorite. Design-wise, this Link has two designs as well, but it feels like you wear the first one for the duration of one of these pig farts. On Outset Island, Link wears this blue shirt with a drawing of a lobster on it, some orange pants, which I don't really know how I feel about, and some gray shoes. It's a basic cozy fit. Not sure I really get island vibes from it, aside from this lobster, but it's okay. Moving on to the main fit, we have your typical hero in green. He wears a green tunic with a lighter green long sleeve shirt underneath, white tights, a belt, a hat, and some boots. I actually really like this design, but I feel like it's the art style that really pulls everything together, which I'm not sure should count during this ranking, but oh well. The story of Wind Waker follows Link on Outset Island. He lives with his sister and grandma, and life seems to be pretty good. For his birthday, his younger sister Errol gives him a telescope, and with this telescope, a giant bird can be seen carrying and then dropping a girl into the nearby forest. Link of course goes to check on the girl, and just when the situation seems to be under control, Errol gets snatched up by the same bird. How lovely. Link sets out with a crew of pirates in search of this bird and his sister, but once you get his sister back, that's not the end of the game. No, Link learns more about the evil lurking in the water, and goes to work gathering the Triforce, and ultimately defeats the man behind the chaos, who is almost always Ganondorf. Who would have thought? This Link is full of personality and super expressive, even without talking. Throughout the game, you can read this Link like an open book, watching him go through grief, anger, happiness, sadness, and even shock. His facial expressions in this game are insane. You're never left wondering how this Link is feeling, and I feel like that's rare for a Zelda game. On top of his expressions, I love how selfless this Link is. Everywhere he goes, he makes friends and is willing to lend a helping hand. Yes, the reason we go on this journey is personal, wanting to save your sister, but along the way, we learn the truth and that the world will devolve into madness if no one is there to stop it. Link, of course, would never let this happen to himself and his friends he met along the way, once again putting his own life on the line to stop it. Truly a hero from beginning to end. Overall, I think this Link is super cool, yet goofy in a weird way, and definitely one of the first ones I think of when it comes to Links with a good personality. So, how do we feel? I put up a poll asking which Link is the best Link, and I can assure you it wasn't quite what I expected. Twilight Princess Link was number 1, and while I like all the Links, well, most of them, I just couldn't bring myself to put him first. I don't know. Do you agree or disagree with my rating? Let me know your ranking in the comments below, and please tell me your reasoning behind it. Anyway, my name is Andy, and I hope to see you in the next video.